Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. In the last part, we got back to Nibelheim finding it completely intact thanks to Shinra doing some dirty stuff. And now we're in the Shinra Mansion after finding the lost number. Now, you could theoretically wait to fight the lost number until after we do this next stuff, but I just want to do it then.
If you can fend off the lost number now, nothing in here is gonna give you any trouble.
Except for maybe the dorky face just due to confusion. Either way, next enemy we have is a Girafelgo, 1600 HP, 380 experience points, 44 AP, 300 gil. Can't steal anything from them, but they can draw Phoenix Dance. If you use a gravity type attack on them, they die instantly.
They fall off their axe every now and then, and it's hilarious when they do.
Yeah, and their entire, I think their attack pattern might change when that happens. They are notably immune to Earth, though.
Next enemy is a Mirage, 570 HP, 290 XP, 22 AP, and 280 gil. Don't cast magic because it has auto reflect.
Yes.
But all it really has is a weak physical attack in terms of attacking, so it's really no threat. It can drop a mirror, which is a rare item, and that grants reflect to the whole party. So yeah. If you can get your hand on a couple of those, please do, because it'll help with a couple later fights.
Yeah. There is one... This enemy could be potentially annoying in the case, like, as you saw, they come with a dorky face. In the case you get yourself confused and that auto-reflect kicks in, that could be bad. Oh god, I forgot about the auto-reflect. I'm always a bit spotty when it comes to non-boss fight exclusive auto-reflect abilities. Obviously, I probably should figure that out because mirror, but it's just one of those things I always tend to forget about. Like, does it have auto reflect? Does it not? I don't know. All I know is that most of my magic either I use I think what it comes down to as well, isn't Quake usually a barrier piercing?
Well, that'd be because it's blue magic for the most part.
True.
Yes.
And now we have one of my favorite
not
songs in the game. And you can only come in this room if you got the key from the safe and finding the lost number.
It's it's not reflective in 6 because it's a whole group attack.
Oh,
that's why.
Okay. Well, hi there, Alucard from Helsing. Oh, you have no idea.
Vampire!
Yeah, let's talk about my buddy Sephiroth. Man, he was real chill until he killed my entire town, my best friend's father, and burnt it all to the ground.
And he knows him.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Well, that's convenient.
Nice slow motion backflip.
Alright, let's go off and explain. And I think this is the only time the game does the, like, Super Nintendo era fade screen to do off-screen explanation thing, because they did it a lot in the Super Nintendo. Okay, that's a grammar error there. This character says that Sephiroth knows he was created 5 years ago. What he means is... Because I know some people probably reading that like, he's only 5 years old. No, what he means is he learned about his creation 5 years ago. Hey.
Let a man sleep.
No, you're not just going to cut the conversation like that. Who are you, first off? A former Turk?
Oh.
This is Vincent Valentine, a fan favorite character to put it lightly.
I personally don't find him very useful, unless you're using the overflow glitch.
Yeah, because as you can tell since we named him, he's sort of a playable character, but we'll get more into that in a few moments. But you do need to do this chain of events for him to join. And yeah, he's talking about Lucrezia, Sephiroth's mother. And you might be wondering, wait, Sephiroth's his mother, right? Well, yeah, but he's still human, so they needed someone to give birth to him.
A surrogate mother, huh?
Yeah. Also, is it Lucrezia or Lucretia? I forget which pronunciation they use the most in the other stuff.
I've always said Lucretia.
I forget how they say it in Georgia server. Okay, hi. And next enemy is 1 in 2. This is Yin and Yang. I believe I'm starting off with Yang.
I have Yang, so go with Yang.
Alright, so I have Yang. Yang has, and you scroll back up, 1200 HP, 300 XP, 40 AP, 400 gil, can't steal or drop anything, and it loves to use magic on you. Bolt 2, Ice 2, so on and so forth. A lot of high damage here if you're not careful.
Yeah. Ying has 1200 HP, 400 XP, 30 AP, 400 gil. It knows Vanish. And that's really all. It doesn't really drop anything.
The key thing with it is that whenever they say Yang's happy, I think that means it doesn't do anything. But they have a bit of a suicide and countdown attack that if you're not quick on your feet, I believe will either instant kill you or do a lot of damage. Honestly, I haven't seen it in years. I want to... Oh, wait, no, here it is. After running out of MP or below 1/8 of its HP, that's when Yang does it. I think Ying has different ways of
Also,
going about
this thing has incredibly long animations.
Yeah. And I think I know exactly why they did that. First off, to increase the creep factor, because look at this thing, it's just creepy. But Tetsuya Nomura revealed in an EGM magazine back in '97 that this is his favorite enemy design, so I think he gave a bit of extra stuff just to this dude because of that.
Yang is happy.
Also, a weird, because I always felt thrown off whenever I'm in this area now for a reason. In the PC version of the game, it still plays the theme we heard a moment ago here, which, by the way, I should mention, this song is Vincent's theme.
So good.
Oh yeah, that's really nice. Oh, I haven't been back here in a while. Oh.
Oh, there he is.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, it brings back a lot of memories of you killing my parents, my entire town. Have I heart done that enough yet? You should really stop. I'm gonna stab you now.
What's a reunion? The family reunion.
That's not the first time we've heard reunion, has it?
Those dudes in the black capes have been saying it.
Yeah, calamity from the skies? Ow!
Who chucks materia at a man? Haven't we seen this before? Isn't this the second time someone's chucked materia at Cloud?
I honestly forget. The destruct materia, magic materia that I never use. And now we have escapee reports. 2 people escaped from here. Former soldier member, no effect can be detected. Regular, reacted to Genova cells. A shot resisting, B escaped during A's execution. B's whereabouts currently unknown.
Huh.
I guess there's a runaway experiment somewhere. And these were, I guess, their tubes. And they could most certainly speak English. I mean, I guess the fact that they can escape that well implies that they're human experiments. Wonder if we'll run into that at some point along the way. Oh, hi.
Oh, I almost forgot about you. You want to meet Hojo?
It's just after him and Sephiroth. Vincent's feeling the vengeance game. And Vincent joins us, the second optional party member. Vincent is weird. I think he has, I want to say, the 3rd highest magic stat in the game. So he's really good for magic. But where he's a bit odd in is his limit breaks. First off, he only has 4, 1 for each level. And I'll show them off later, but they work closer to a Berserker from Final Fantasy V.
Yeah, you can't control him while he's in his limit break.
However, to make up for that, even though you can't control them, they are absurdly powerful. And now I want to run around a little bit, because I'm looking for a very specific enemy around here. This is the Jersey. I actually forgot to put this one in the notes. Whoops.
Joyzy.
500 HP, 320 experience points, 30 AP, 384 gil. Can steal turbo others, and they can also drop them. The thing we want is for them to use an attack just known as question marks, which is an enemy skill. However, you want to make sure you don't attack them first, because whenever you attack them, their scales tip. You can only have them use question marks if they are tilted towards the left side of the screen. If they're tilted towards the right, they're going to use, I think, an entirely different attack. I think just a spin attack. Question marks is one of the more annoying to get in the game just due to that, but as for what it does, it's probably also just one of the least useful. I think it does damage equal to your max HP.
Oh.
Or is it current HP? I forget. It's some fraction that's not too useful.
Pumpkin, reminding me of Pumpkinhead from 9.
I entirely forgot that enemy existed because whenever I think of Pumpkinhead, I think of that really weird horror movie. Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Headless Horseman.
Whenever they're tilted in a direction, they're immune to that type. So when it's tilted to the left, it's immune to magic. When it's tilted to the right, it's immune to physical attacks. But with that, our business in Shinra Manor is concluded. Thank God this music was starting to depress me.
And also be a little repetitive.
Yeah. And at this point, I believe I set up my party a little bit differently. I brought Vincent to my party, and this is what everyone's looking like equipment and materia-wise.
Giving Cloud all of the magic materia to take advantage of his super stupid high magic stat.
Yep. And one thing you noticed may have seen there, the Peacemaker that we got all the way back in, I want to say part 8 in Calm. We can finally use it because that's better than starting. It's better than it's a weapon for Vincent. It's better than his starting weapon. I always forget this screen exists.
It's kind of like one of the scenes in Final Fantasy V where there's like an entrance outside of the pirate cave that goes into this tiny little area that you never knew existed.
Yeah, it also kind of reminds me of this one area at the end of Star Tropics.
Sonic Speed! 750 HP, 370 XP, 28 AP, 330 gil, weak to wind, immune to earth, can drop high potions, and you can steal ethers from them. They have this thing called Harrier, which does a little bit of magic attack, but that's alright.
They're essentially just upgraded formulas from back around Fort Condor. But along with them is
insect dudes.
Q Veldons, one of the weirdest names in the game. 800 HP, 340 experience points, 34 AP, 368 gil, weak to fire. They can drop high potions, and their only real attack, and in fact that might be their only attack, is Lay Flat, which just does some damage. Not very notable. If you want to kill them quickly, Beta is your best way to go about it if you want to use an MP. Or you could use Vincent's first level 1 limit break. Galian Feast, I believe this is. Whenever you use Vincent's limit break, he goes into a berserk stage we saw, and he transforms. However, each form has a couple of different attacks. Berserk Dance, which I believe in this case does 1.5 times normal damage, and Beast Flare, which does 3 3/4 times normal fire elemental damage to all targets. So you can get some pretty good damage with him off the bat, but it takes a bit. And I should note, because we're talking about his limit breaks, the annoying thing about his limit breaks is that they're not based at all on using his previous ones. It's entirely based off kill counts.
Ugh. No wonder I never got to his level 2 limit break.
Yeah, you need to use him a good bit. My best advice for doing that, head back either towards the area just outside North Corel, or back to the Mithril Mine and use Mantra Magic a lot. Then we want to go up here because there's this very weirdly hidden pathway.
I never knew that existed. What?
Yeah, this is weird for a couple reasons. One, it blends in a lot, but two, controlling these weird little and off in the distance pathways is a bit weird because sometimes what feels like should be forward is left and vice versa. And then we get the Plus Barrette, which is a weapon for red that is good, but not. I personally prefer to keep the weapon we got from the end of Cosmo Canyon on him for now.
What's it do?
Good question. I honestly forget.
Wow, you are getting lucky as hell with enemy encounters. What the heck?
Don't collapse, don't collapse, don't collapse, don't collapse, don't collapse, don't collapse. And we're good. Alright. Plus.
How are you not running into a million enemies?
I just have a good luck, I guess. Let's see. Plus Barrette, 39
Also,
attack.
please tell me you're gonna do the thing.
I'm doing the thing. Wait, I don't
Good.
know which thing you're talking about. Okay, here it is. Plus Barrette, 4 unlinked slots with double materia growth.
See that little thing right there? That shiny little bag right there? Grab it.
Yeah, when we get
That's what I
over to
want.
there, we're gonna need to grab that. But first, we want to come over here. You might remember this from our time back in Mount Nibel from the Sephiroth flashback. And we have another encounter here. Oh, I remember you. Yeah, you breathed fire on me and killed me.
This is the thing that Sephiroth killed. This is the thing that Sephiroth destroyed with his Masabune. 3,500 HP, 900 XP, 110 AP, 1,400 gil. It absorbs fire and is immune to gravity. And you can steal a gold armlet from it, so that's pretty neat.
But did I give you two?
It's also susceptible to level 4 suicide, because it's level 32.
Yeah. That gold armlet is something we want to grab. You don't need them, but they are better than a good amount of equipment that we've seen so far. So in the case you run into this thing, which isn't too likely, I want to say it might be one of the rarest encounters in this area, grab one.
Man, that thing's wearing an armlet for a reason. It wants to keep it. It thought it was really pretty, and then you're just going to steal it from it? No wonder it wants to attack you.
Yeah. Got a weird little thing to go around left there to get an elixir.
That reminds me of one of the paths in Final Fantasy IX in the Ice Cavern to get the leather wrist.
I know the exact one you're talking about. Yeah, the 7 and 9 have a lot of those. And here we get another elemental materia. Always good to have one of those. And now for something very important. Another random encounter. Containing... what? Did I not put these guys in the notes? Oh, no, here it is. Twin Brain. Twin Brains have 400 HP, 240 experience points, 32 AP, 320 gil. No elemental weaknesses, but you can steal and have them drop others. The big thing is that they can use Stare Down on you, which stops you, I believe, for a time.
It's a good thing that stop doesn't give you a game over in this game.
Yeah.
Good lord.
They like to spam it all in a row, so if you can get your turns off quickly, better for it. But if you don't have much to worry about, because at this point I think they're just going to start doing Absorb, which does fairly low HP damage to you that they then take. But you want to be careful with one thing. I think they have pretty decent magic defense, so you're going to want to go with physical attacks. Or I could show off Odin, which we got this after beating the last number. This is a gravity-based summon that, well... Kerslisa.
It's not an insta-kill?
And they're dead.
Oh. How is it gravity-based?
I think it just checks that they have gravity stuff. At least I think it depends on the game I'm thinking of too. However, notably, and I think I showed this off later on too, if you use Odin in a boss fight, you get an entirely different attack. Because they in previous Final Fantasies, because it's been showing up since since 4. No, 3. Odin was always an instant kill. However, starting in, I want to say it was 7. Did 6 have it?
6 had Odin, yes.
No, I meant like the non-instant kill attack.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think 7 was the first to do it. If you're fighting a boss or an enemy rather, that isn't susceptible to instant death, it just uses that. But over there, we got the Sniper CR, one of the 2 or 3 weapons in the game with a 255 hit percentage, which means it's almost guaranteed to always hit. If you combine that accuracy with the Death Blow materia, you have pretty high chances of doing pretty regular critical hits. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing with Vincent from here on for quite a while. In fact, that weapon's going to be on him for probably longer than it should be. Oh, hey, yeah, there was the Mako reactor. But now for this area's little puzzle. Earlier on, I climbed down all the ladders just to get down to that lower area. But you want to do that before taking these twos, because then you won't be able to climb back up until you come back around to the other side of Nibelheim.
Which is very annoying.
Yeah, that also takes a while. That's... I think like 2 areas away from now, at least.
However, notable thing is that you want to go around Nibelheim at least once, but that's not until much later when you're trying to max out your stats.
Yep, and there we get the Power Soul.
The best weapon in the game!
One of Tifa's most interesting weapons, to be certain. The way it works is that it does 1 times damage normally. If she's at critical HP, it does double damage. If she has a death sentence equipped, or is otherwise in like really dire straits, it gets a quadruple damage. However, you can stack those on to do 8 times damage. And here we have the next boss fight, Materia Keeper. It used Trine right off the bat.
He just used... That's like rare. I've never seen it use it like that so quickly. So you're watching the new animation because this is a boss. Anyways, 8400 HP. This is Materia Keeper, by the way. 8400 HP, 3000 XP, 200 AP, 2400 gil. Immune to fire, or rather, it absorbs fire. And it drops a gem ring when you kill it. The notable thing you want to do is have it use Trine on you, but this thing can kill you really fast.
Trine especially. It's essentially a lightning elemental beta, so I'm glad I got it right then that quickly, because that's really good to get. That's not its most dangerous thing to me. That's its most dangerous group attack, but it also has Big Horn, which does good damage, and Hell Combo, which will just do so much damage that's honestly kind of ridiculous, especially if it uses it at the start of the fight. However, one thing you want to make sure with this fight, because right now my strategy is just to use my strongest magical attacks and avoid, like, beta at all costs because it absorbs fire. You want to make sure you do not use Vincent's Limit Break if you bring him into this fight, because if he uses Beast Flare, you could be in this fight quite literally forever, because he'll just keep healing it for probably most of the damage, if not all of the damage you've dealt in one shot. Ooh, poison. Aqualung, Odin,
Is
Titan,
helpful.
probably overall best.
Trine, yeah. It doesn't have anything it's like double weak to or anything, which is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. Trine, though, as an enemy skill, is one of the hardest to learn in the game, because off the top of my head, there's maybe only 3 encounters that use it that are readily accessible. One is the Materia Keeper. Another one is available fairly soon, but in the case you're going for true 100%, I believe is what it's called, at least speedrun-wise. You're going to want to wait on that one for a while. And the other one isn't until, I think, Disc 2. So if you're going for that...
and Vincent's dead!
Oh, God. Cloud, finish it, quickly. Yeah. The Materia Keeper could very easily be a wall for a first-time player, because the amount of damage it does is pretty
insane how much damage it does.
Like, obviously...
700 damage at the very beginning of the game. This is almost as annoying as an enemy we'll be seeing later on.
Like, the lost number...
In Disc 2, I think.
The lost number was, I think, the first boss I truly consider hard, just because it's technically supposed to be at least a Disc 2 enemy. But the Materia Keeper is quite easily the hardest boss on Disc 1 to me, just because of its absurd damage.
It's not the most annoying boss in the game. I will attribute that to one enemy, and I'm almost certain you know which one I mean.
Probably. But for beating it, we also get the counter materia. That is not a counter-attack materia, I believe, though. What counter means is that when that's a support materia, so you have to link it to something. Whenever you get attacked, there's a chance the character that's equipped to will counter with whatever it's linked to. So in case you like link it to fire.
And I believe the chances of that actually increases the more it levels up. And I think it starts at 10 and ends at 50?
Somewhere about that, yeah. If you can figure out some good combos with it, it's honestly pretty good, but I'm not the biggest fan of it overall, I guess is the way to put it. I'll be using it a good bit, especially for some boss fights, but the best combo you could probably put with it is probably either an attack that the enemy is weak to, like, say, Lightning 2, in the case it's a robot-type enemy or something like that. Potential for it, but it's not my favorite. Captain. Oh, the former Shinra Space Program captain. Okay. What about the man in the black cape?
Hope he's not a bad guy.
Man in the black cape has not been this far, so Sephiroth has gone somewhere else after Nibelheim.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we've lost his track for a little bit, I guess. Hello? Okay, you're in there.
Rocket Town is one of my favorite places in the game, honestly.
Yeah, also, this is Rocket Town. If you're wondering why it's called Rocket Town, just look in the distance, there's a giant rocket in the town. And here we got some pretty good equipment. This is where you can also buy gold armlets, and I could recommend buying a full set of those, honestly.
Now here's a question for you. What was it called before the rocket was built and this place was known as Rocket Town?
I don't think we ever learned that. I think this town wasn't here until after the rocket was there. But that's the Shinra number 26. Let's take a look at it. One thing I should note, though. I do recommend buying a full set of gargoyle armlets because they are good. But at the same time, I could also probably only recommend maybe buying 3 or 4 because there's another piece of equipment coming up in the relatively near future that is also really good. And here we get the Yoshiyuki.
He gave you the Yoshiyuki.
A 2-slot normal materia, no link slot weapon, but it is absurdly powerful for this point in the game.
Man, and that guy gave it to you just for listening to him ramble. What a nice man.
I like it when games have nice old people NPCs. Because a lot of the time, old people NPCs in games usually are like the crotchety old, get off my lawn types. But when we have the really nice ones, it feels so good. Okay, yeah, there we learned. Rocket Town, if it was here at all when the rocket was like originally supposed to be used, it's descended from or made up of the old mechanics. Power source.
Ooh, power source.
I still haven't used any sources in the game yet. I'm waiting until endgame for that, and they're all going to cloud.
Oh.
Alright, let's
showing some bias, Kyle?
A little bit. Alf said he's the main character.
Fair.
And then we get the drill arm, which is I think a close range weapon for Barrett. Ooh, plane.
That's a tiny heckin' plane.
Yeah. Tiny Bronco. Former Shinra plane? I guess we'll just steal it. Oh, hi. We're not stealing it. What are you talking about? This is Shira. Or just Shira. No, that's a different character. Apparently, bad news for us, Rufus is coming into town to talk with the captain about something.
That's not good.
Everywhere we go, he just ends up coming to as well. Rufus, what the hell, man? I feel like you're stalking us.
It's a game of cat and mouse with him. And we're the mice.
That is something I kind of like about Rufus, though. Unlike some other RPG villains who you're constantly chasing, there's periods where you're honestly ahead of him by a decent chunk. And that just feels nice, because usually the villains are just like 3 steps ahead of you. Quite literally, quite figuratively and physically. Let's check inside the rocket. I guess you're the captain. Yeah, we came to see him. Oh my god, yes. This is the Sid. Potentially my favorite Sid in the entire series.
He's definitely my favorite Sid, and he also has my favorite theme in the whole game.
Yeah, this is my favorite character theme, without a doubt. There's just something about it. It almost feels hopeful. Yeah, what's with this rocket, man? Clearly you care a lot about it.
A kid. Cloud's like 21 years old.
Yeah, but Sid's like 60, I think. I think he's actually only like 40 or so, though.
Sid is... He's 26 in Before Crisis. He's 32 in this game.
You're bare... That's basically the gap between me and my brother.
Oh.
Sid, you're not that old, man. But yeah, Sid's dream was to be a rocket pilot, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, the rocket launch never went up. So he just stuck on the ground with this rotting carcass of a rocket that's slowly tilting. It's like the leaning tower of pizza.
It looks more like a... I was going to say it looks more like a missile than a rocket.
Yeah, I'm going to chalk that up to it being probably one of their... Well, it's the Shinra number 26, so they probably had at least 25 other rockets, but this is the first one they probably got any kind of successful design with.
Yeah.
And admittedly, the missile design is effective. Their missiles breach the atmosphere for a reason.
This is true.
Either way, if I'm recalling the timestamp correctly, we are going to need to end this up here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 16, we'll be continuing on here in Rocket Town and hopefully getting out of here with the tiny Bronco, even though Sid just said no, before Rufus comes into town.
We're the main characters. We get everything we want.
Yeah, except when we don't. See you guys then.
Bye-bye.